Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning. Welcome to our family service for today. Nice to have everyone here and there joining us for service. And it's another wonderful day in April, so we're enjoying the weather and enjoying our time. Just last week we had our Hanamatsuri events, and that's always a lot of fun, and nice to have this service again today. I would like to introduce you to our chairpersons for today. Today, the twins are back to help us out for our service, helping to chair this service, Bird and Bird. As you might know, they are the newest members of our temple. They used to just watch out from outside, sitting in the tree or sitting on the wires, and they'd see the activities going on at the temple and services before, and just noticing how happy people were and how friendly they were and how in their interactions with each other. And so they wanted to come and see what it was like to be at a Buddhist temple. So gradually they became more familiar with what goes on at the temple and the others here, and how everyone tries to pitch in and help, so they are willing to do the same. So this is maybe the second time that they've chaired the service, so it's nice to have them here participating. You notice they have their masks on and reminding us to continue to be cautious, watching out for ourselves and others. And they don't have their own enju because they have wings. So it's a little bit hard to carry their own enju, but they are ready for service. I would like to share the service order for today. So we will begin with the reading of the three treasures, and then the reading of the Raisanmon. After that, I'll take my seat upon the altar, and we will have the chanting of the Sanbutsuge and the Sanbutsuge. So please prepare for this portion of the service. Find the parts that we need to participate, and it's always nice to know that you are participating at your homes to be a part of the chanting. And this part is a very important part of our practice, so it becomes an enjoyable habit once we start. And sometimes we might feel a little bit, what do you call that? I can't think of the word, but a little bit embarrassed to be chanting loudly, whether it's in front of others or just by yourself in a room. And so that inhibition hopefully goes away. And that inhibition kind of shows us that our ego-centeredness is still intact. And so this is why we become hesitant. And so as we chant and become comfortable with that, this is kind of a reflection on ourselves and on our practice, how we are able to acknowledge our self-centeredness that we always come back to, and how to get beyond that by participating, being a part of everyone chanting together to become one voice. So this is always nice. So with this, we will begin. Please join me in the reading of the three treasures. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Raisanmon. Ninjin ukegatashi imasude ni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasude ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezun ba, sarani izure no shou ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu moro tomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku ba shujo to tomo ni. Daido wo taige shite mujoi o okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku ba shujo to tomo ni. Fukaku kyozo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni. Daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Mujo jinjin mimyo no Howa. 100,000万号にも愛をことかたし。我今見文字従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てますらん。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。三部上、三仏下。Namanda, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Ojo, Ida, Nyorai.
音願の響き 業計量心死食の苦中他行精進忍辱不敬
Good morning again, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's always nice to have many joining us for the services that we are able to provide. Today we have another poem, haiku poem from Issa. Please listen. Trusting the Buddha Amida, good and bad, I bid farewell to the departing year. So this is one of many poems that Issa provided, and this one is translated by D.T. Suzuki, and it was written at a period of Issa's life when he had very little money. He was even in debt, and so going through a struggling time. And it sounds as though he's come to the end of the year, maybe writing this in December as the year is closing. So listen again. Trusting the Buddha Amida, good and bad, I bid farewell to the departing year. So as I was reading this poem, thinking about it, often it's explained that we live our lives on this horizontal plane, and this is our normal everyday life, and we ride through this life, the ups and downs that we endure during whatever periods we have in our life, whatever we might be going through. And then we become introduced to the Nembutsu teachings, the place of Amida Buddha into our lives. And so we open to Amida. This is a vertical plane. So a horizontal plane and then a vertical plane that provides stability to these ups and downs. And then we are able to endure all these experiences with more stability that we go through. We still go through them, but we have more stability in our lives. So we're enabled to become aware of the role and the place of Amida, and our lives become more grounded. So at first we are more self-concerned and ego-centered, and our ride through life kind of goes like that, through kind of like a roller coaster, up and down, and good moments of anticipation and then dread, and then back up again and around in circles. Sometimes as young parents, we might be enduring things that our children endure at, in their schoolwork or social life or sports or whatever they have, and we try to assist as much as possible to make it enjoyable experience, learning experience as they go through their lives, and we reflect upon things that we went through ourselves. For our own work life, we might have to go through difficulties and changings of careers and things like this. So there's always these ups and downs, maybe a little later or for a long period. We have elders to consider and care for, and they have needs that grow as they become older in age and difficulties with their health and such. And so there are many people at a certain stage in their lives that they become caregivers, and there are a lot of stressful things that need to be endured. And so to go through this and not to become so wrapped up that you are not able to function yourself. So it's often said that you have to be very careful and considerate of yourself as you become a caregiver, and not so wrapped up in everything that needs to be done. And so when you get overly wrapped up, then you stop caring for yourself and your own needs, and so you become not so healthy, and then you become part of a growing problem that we are enduring. So all these different types of things that we go through in life. So as we are enabled to allow our connection and relationship with Amida Buddha, coming to a life of Nembutsu, we are adding this vertical plane to the horizontal plane of our lives. And through this, we're able to endure a little bit better. It becomes a stabilizing force. Okay, awakening allows us to come to a shift, to become Amida-centered rather than self-centered. Okay, so up until this recognition of Amida in our lives, then it's just everything is ego-driven in our lives, and whether it's looking for a promotion or buying a car or celebrating a birthday or whatever it might be, it's all kind of centered around me. Look at me, look at where I've come to, and things like this. And there's a shift when we become Amida-centered, and our own self-centeredness, the role of our ego, becomes displaced or properly placed to the side and not so central in our lives. And this is what Amida allows. Okay, this awakening experience grows and matures, and as this happens, we come to a deeper worldview and a deeper life. So this is the Nembutsu path that we are walking together. And so as we become aware of who Amida is and how our relationship, our interaction with Amida comes to be and then comes to mature, then our own lives become deeper and fuller as we move away from the normal self-centeredness and become a part of the infinite Amida. Okay, so let me read this haiku poem one more time. Trusting the Buddha Amida, good and bad, I bid farewell to the departing year. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Yeah, I really enjoy some of the poems, many of the poems that Issa has provided during his lifetime, and we'll look at a few more, and hopefully we'll move on to other haiku poets as well, and they've all shared wonderful perspectives of life. Okay, so thank you to everyone for joining us for this service. thank you to everyone who's been able to prepare all the different aspects of putting on a service, whether it's the flowers and the osanaya fruits that are provided to the temple and all these things, and workings in the background that go on to provide the videos at both our temples, Alameda and Enmanji. And so we are appreciative of all these things that happen to allow us to enjoy our services together. And so please come up now. We can come to our Oshoko to conclude the service, however you have prepared to do at your homes. Rocks, pebbles, marbles, flower petals, incense, anything that you may have set up to do this portion of the service. So thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Namanda, 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 namanda.